7 styles in 7 days. This is your ultimate hairstyling guide for the week and all of the best products you need to get started. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today's video has so many tips, tricks, product recommendations, and Sephora at Kohl's is my partner for today's video. That is where you will find all of the products that we're going to talk about. I will link them in my storefront down below in the description box. And hair care is one of those categories that we have to restock a few times a year. So it's best to pick up all of your favorites through Sephora at Kohl's. That way you earn your beauty insider points, you earn Kohl's rewards, your money goes as far as possible for you. Let's get started with our day one style. These are the two products I'm starting with. First, I'm going to go in with my Moroccan Oil Treatment Hair Oil. This is incredible for smoothing, hydrating, conditioning the hair. And then I'm going in with my Color Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Spray. Supernatural is the only way to describe it. It is incredible. This is your complete weather shield, your insurance policy. It's going to turn your hairstyle humidity proof, which is essential in Miami when it's so hot and humid all the time. You don't have to use this every time you style your hair. They say every 3 to 4 washes. It is heat activated, so you want to make sure you're going in with the blow dryer or a hot tool. Next, you're going to need some hair clips. Using the larger clips like this, I like to go ahead and section off my hair. That way it stays out of our face, it's not all blowing around. And then you also need these smaller hair clips. That's what adds the bounce in the Bouncy Blowout. If you want those curls at the end, you have to pin them in place. I'm using my round brush from T3, my Dyson hair dryer, and I'm going to start with this front section. I'm probably 95% done. You have to make sure the hair is completely dry before you pin the curl. When the section is ready, I'm just going to take my hand with a few fingers, start wrapping the curl around the fingers, tucking the curly ends underneath. 2 pins per curl, one in the front and one in the back. Just like that. Same thing on the other side. In the end, you'll have something that looks like this. My hair has been setting for close to 2 hours now. Things got a little bit messy, so I had to fix them. I took Jazzy out for a walk. My neighbors don't mind. They're used to it by now. The fun part is removing the pins. Ooh! The body, the volume, the curl, the bounce. See, this is why it does make a difference to leave the curls in as long as possible. I know we don't always have time. I've decided I'm going to go in with a little hairspray. This is the Moroccan Oil Luminous Hairspray, the Strong Finish. It's really touchable and light. It doesn't make your hair feel crispy. Oh gosh. I wish it stayed this big all day. This is going to fall. It won't stay quite so big and bouncy, but it's a great place to start. And this is our final style for the day, the perfect bouncy blowout. This is day 2, the easiest hair day of the week. I slept with a silk bonnet for long hair. I showered with a waterproof shower cap to protect the style. And this is what we're working with. No major kinks or dents anywhere, no frizzy curly cues that I need to zap with a hot tool. I haven't even brushed through this with a proper brush. I've just been running my fingers through it and I still have plenty of volume and bounce. The ends are still nice and curly, so I'm really happy with what we have going on. There's no reason to add additional product today. We're going to keep things simple and just appreciate the convenience of day 2 hair, especially with all of the work we put in yesterday. Good morning, it's day 3 and today's hair touch-up needs a little more finesse. My trusty shower cap did the best it could, but we need a little extra help this morning. I did a Pilates class last night. I went for a walk first thing this morning because the weather is so beautiful outside. It's not too hot and sweaty, but I will definitely need some dry shampoo. My scalp is starting to feel a little bit oily. It's definitely more weighed down. It really doesn't look that terrible, but we'll have a better idea once we get it brushed out. There are 2 key products I'm going to use to help revive my style today. The first is this Briogeo Style and Treat Dry Shampoo Puff. I have the version that's tinted for dark hair. They also have a plain classic white, but I like this one because not only does it work as a great dry shampoo, it's going to add a little texture and boost to the root area, and it helps to cover grays. And then I'm also going to go in with this Color Wow Extra Large Bombshell Volumizer. This is one of my favorite mousses, and you can use this on wet hair or dry hair. I just lifted the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm taking this front mohawk section right by the hairline. I'm going to section that off, and we're starting with the mousse. Just a few small pumps, and then I'm going to work that in. It's not sticky, it's not tacky, it's not going to create flakes in the hair. Just want to get that going towards the hairline. Going in now with my round brush and blow dryer, I'm going to blow out this section, and I'm going to hold the hairbrush towards the hairline for just a few seconds just to really activate the mousse. This is the volume that we want. I'm going to do the exact same thing on either side. And remember, you want to position your round brush so that you're lifting the root of the hair. And then our final side over here. This shouldn't take a long time. This is still going to be a relatively quick touch-up today. See, now when I run my fingers through my hair, it still feels soft and touchable, but yeah, we have some bombshell volume, that's for sure. To really absorb any excess oil and help refresh the entire scalp, I'm going in now with my dry shampoo. To get it going, you just sort of tap the puff there in the center. Since it's tinted, you don't have to worry about getting it directly in the hairline or your part. I still like to go a little bit off the part, but you can apply this directly in your part, and you're not going to have any sort of powdery white cast. Not with the tinted version, at least. Just gonna work it in with my fingers. And it's not messy. I mean, there's a little darkness to my fingers, but I'll just wash my hands. It doesn't get all over your clothes. It doesn't fall all over the place. A little extra oil control. This is also going to help with our volume. Adds a little grit to the hair now. Final step, I just grabbed these shorter bang pieces here in the front. I'm gonna quickly zap these with the round brush. That way it creates a nice little swoop to the side. And that's it. Took about 5 minutes flat. I need to get dressed, but we are ready for the day, and our day 3 hair is still going strong. We are on day 4 hair. Things are starting to get serious. It's the last time we can get away with hair down before we wash it again, and today we're gonna add some beachy waves, curls, some texture. We've reached the greasy mop stage of the week. The problem is I'm planning to go to the beach later on this afternoon to shoot some content. The weather is really beautiful. When you're getting ready for a beach day, there's just no point in trying to wash your hair and start from scratch. The wind, the waves, the sea mist, and the sand, you're gonna end up with beachy waves anyway, no matter what style you start with. We need heat protection, so I'm going in with my Moroccan Oil Perfect Defense Protect Thermal Protection Mist. And for the first time this week, we're going in with a hot tool. This is the T3 1¼ inch barrel curling iron. I'm gonna quickly brush through my hair using our day hairbrush. Now that we're brushed out, I'm gonna spray our thermal protection mist. I typically like to start in the back, wrap a few times, hold it a few seconds, and then I'm gonna make my way down the bottom, twist back up. Very cute and bouncy. And then I just flip that to the back to cool down. This piece I'm just going to wrap. We want a variety of textures. Just makes it a little bit different. I usually wait until the very end to spray hairspray, and I may even go back in with a little more dry shampoo depending on what it looks like. This is meant to be sort of a loose, wavy, textured style. We're approaching the end of the shelf life of this blowout, so I don't mind adding more products. By the end of the week, you kind of have to do what you have to do to make it look good. Before I move on to the other side, I'm going to spritz with my Moroccanoil Luminous Hairspray with the strong finish. Now I'm going to start curling the other side. You always want to curl away from the face. And again, I like to start with the back and the underneath because you can just sort of flip the hair to the back and it keeps it out of the way. Everybody has a different technique. I'm going to show you mine. I clamp at the front and then I do my first curl, hold that for a moment, slide down the hair, curl back up, hold for a moment, move down a little bit more, and whenever I feel ready, I undo the first bit, keep curling down, and you kind of just work your way up the hair that way. That way the entire strand of hair isn't on the iron the entire time. Curling irons can be really scary, but it's one of those tools that practice makes perfect. You just have to do it a couple times, mess up a couple times, but then it becomes really fast and easy. And these curls don't have to be perfect. I'm not holding the hair on the iron for a long time. Luminous hairspray. And this is our final day 4 hair. Considering where we started, I love this transformation. We have some texture, some bounce. Everything is nice and smooth. It's not frizzy. We still have some volume at the root, probably from our mousse that we added yesterday. And this is going to be perfect for a beach day. It's day 5. This is what we have going on after beachy waves yesterday. Yes, I promise today is a wash day, but first we are going to squeeze in one final style. I know what you're thinking, just wash your dang hair. It's coming, I swear, but this is a style that's best done on dirty hair, and it's also really practical. How many times have you been in a position where maybe it's not day 5 hair, maybe it's day 2 or 3 or 4, but Maybe it's rainy outside, you have a dinner, an event to go to, it's midway through the week, maybe you got to the weekend and you simply don't have time to wash and style your hair, you don't want to wear your hair down, but you need to figure out something to do with it. This 90s inspired messy bun is the answer. It looks so chic and sophisticated. I always get compliments whenever I wear my hair like this, but the gag is it's really fast and easy and it's a great cover when you have dirty hair. We need our heat protectant, our hairspray. I'm gonna use a little Day Cactus Fruit 3-in-1 styling cream, a few elastics, and a lot of bobby pins. The first step is to create the ponytail. I have an elastic ready to go and I'm going to section out a few pieces. So I'm leaving out these 2 shorter pieces in the front. I want to take a section by the ear and I'm going to leave this out as well. Right by the ear. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're also going to take a section from the very back underneath on either side. There. They don't have to be even, you just want to have a couple pieces hanging out in the front, the middle, and the back. But if you need a little help smoothing the ponytail, I would go in with just a little bit of this Day styling cream. It should look something like this. We have our pieces hanging out and a high ponytail. If you're already a messy bun expert, go ahead and work your magic, create your famous messy bun. I don't know how to work that magic, so I kind of have to fake it. You might have to try this style a few times, experiment to see what works best with your hair length. If you have layers, it's gonna look different. If you have long hair, short hair, you may have to tweak it a little bit. Because my hair is pretty long and I actually don't really have layers. I have angled pieces in the front, but in the back, it's all one length. I kind of have to fake the messy bun. I lifted you up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my ponytail and I'm basically folding it in half. So we have this floppy bun up here, but I want to make sure about half of the hair is just dangling in the back. This is where you have to trust the process. You want to sort of tug and pull in all of the places that need a little extra help. I take the 2 bottom side pieces and I'm going to basically fold them in half. And then I'm going to bobby pin on either side. Now our bun is finally starting to look a bit messy and you can play around with the shape, the height, you can add some bobby pins, just sort of pin pieces depending on what you think looks best. I've lowered you back down to eye level. Now we're gonna spritz all of these pieces that we left out with heat protection spray because we're gonna go in with our curling iron and give them some curl. The first time I attempted this style, I had watched so many TikTok tutorials and everyone said it's so easy, you just have to try it, and I didn't believe them because I'm not usually good at fancy hairstyles, but it really is simple. And then I did it 3 days in a row. And I have pulled out this style so many occasions for events. I wore it to a holiday party. It can be worn casual, it can be worn fancy. I'm gonna separate this into 2 different pieces. With a bobby pin and my strand of hair, I'm just gonna pick this up and I am going to tuck it back up into the bun and secure it with the bobby pin. I'm actually gonna separate that 1 piece into 3 different curls. You want these little curly bits to sort of dangle down in a really pretty way. You just have to fasten them into the back of the bun. Taking the pieces from the other side, this one can go sort of in the front over here. I think that will be pretty. See, the curlier the hair, the dirtier the hair, the better. Because then you already have sort of a messy texture. I'm gonna separate this into 2 pieces. These can go, they can go anywhere, but I'm gonna pin them maybe up and closer to the front so they dangle up here instead of in the back. And I also like to lift up because it covers this little part that we have right here and it's going to give a bit of a facelift. Just sort of snatches the temple up. Now it looks something like this. You see the vision, it's starting to come together. And the final thing is to just curl these front pieces. I separated that bit so that it would look a little bit piecey. Try to get a little volume at the roots. It looks a little different every single time you do it, but it's always cute. It always gets a lot of compliments and it looks very fancy even though it's not. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. And this is our final style for day 5. I had to come to Kohl's so I could pick up an order that I had placed for pickup online at Sephora. And I am feeling like the Sephora at Kohl's final boss because my entire outfit is from Kohl's. This top is Alexia Admore. These jeans, I just picked them up. They're Levi's high-rise skinny white jeans. They are the most comfortable, best pair of jeans that I currently own. I'm obsessed with them and I got them on sale from Kohl's. Day 6, we are embracing our natural hair texture today. We're gonna do an air-dried wavy style. I've already started air drying and hair needs to be wet before we go in with the gel, so I'm gonna quickly mist. And now I am going in with a new product, but at least we're giving our hair a break from the hot tools. This is the Olaplex No. 10 Bond Shaper Curl Defining Gel. My hair's pretty long, so I'm starting with about a nickel size amount of the gel, and I'm just going to start working that all the way through. I picked up a little more gel, and I'm really going to work this into the front pieces. Depending on your hair's natural texture, this might be a really easy air dry day or a bit more complicated. The trick is not to touch it once it starts to air dry, so you're really only going to be able to manipulate and add gel and product at the beginning. If it's starting to get frizzy and you want to go back, add more product and fix a few curls, that's when you go in with more water. For me, the bulk of the hair in the back and the underneath is just going to do its thing. It doesn't need any help. The curls are nice and defined. They have perfect shape. The entire front section, especially the shorter pieces, need a little extra help. So if you want to give your curls a little boost, you're going to make sure you have plenty of water and gel. Pick up a section. You're going to start twirling the hair with your fingers all the way up. And then when you get to the top, you're just going to twist it and let it fall. Do you see that? So I want to get to maybe 2/3 of the way down, and then I start wrapping with my finger all the way up. Get to the top, twist it down. I have my hair. Just like that, start rolling. I'm gonna come back in maybe 2 hours when everything is perfectly dry and I'll show you the final look. The great thing about an air dry hair day is that if it starts to look too frizzy, too messy, and you hate it, you can always do a little half up, half down moment. I sometimes put a little bun in the back. There are so many ways you can fix it and manipulate it so that it just looks very soft, beachy, mermaid vibes. I'm back, hair is now completely dry and we're going in with one final product for this style. This is the hair oil from Way, the St. Bart's edition, which I have not tried. I'm so excited to smell this. I'm going to start with probably 2 pumps. Okay, that was 3. Oh, yes. That smells so good. It smells a little bit like pina colada. So it seems like a lot of oil, but my hair just drinks this up. So I'm going to just sort of scrunch it out a bit. Going to concentrate on the ends, make sure the ends have plenty of oil because they tend to look a little bit fluffy and dry. And this is the final style for the day, our air-dried beachy waves. We made it to the end of the week. It is day 7, and this is our final hairstyle before we start the cycle over again tomorrow with a fresh bouncy blowout. It's basically our Sunday reset hairstyle. This is for when you're working out, running errands, cleaning, meal prepping, getting ready for the week. No muss, no fuss. We're just gonna slick it back, get the hair out of our face. This is nothing fancy. We might even throw on a hat later on. I already have my straight part. You can use the center of your nose as a guide. You wanna go straight back down the center using a comb. I'm going in with a healthy dollop of the Day Cactus Fruit 3-in-1 styling cream. This is also a great day to pull out any of your scalp oils, hair masks. I love to do an oiling treatment before a wash day. Probably do that later on. Just apply oil all over the hair and let it sit for a few hours. I know a lot of people like to do a bun, but I don't really love a bun. It's too tight on my head. And I am working out later, so I think I'm just going to do a pony. I might even do a braid. I swear this is the perfect brush for a slick back. It gets all of the hairs going in the right direction, makes everything so smooth. This is how oily our hair is. Just by brushing it with a little styling cream, it stays in place. For now, I'm just gonna leave the pony. Later in the afternoon, before I shower and wash my hair, I'll add a treatment oil and let that sit for a few hours and really marinate. That way we're multitasking while we have our Sunday reset. And that completes today's video. 7 days, 7 different hairstyles, and all of the products we use to create them. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I want to know which hairstyle is your favorite. As always, all of the products mentioned will be linked down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.